So tonight, fittingly, I wanted to talk about setting goals and visualizing and all of that fun stuff that you've kind of heard me say. But all of my content came from The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. I'm sure you're like, weren't you reading that book like 6 months ago? Yes, I was. This thing is a beast. And I have gotten off track in some of my own personal development. So it's taken me a while to get through, but it is awesome. And I think, Moose, did you say you just have it like on audio and you just listen to it? That might be a better way to go.
I'm a huge audiobook person, and I like to listen to it, especially because I drive a lot. So I listen to my audiobooks a lot when I'm driving. So
yeah, this would be a good book to do that because it's so much information and it's all so good that just to kind of hear it a lot would be helpful. So, the first thing they talk about that I wanted to talk about is just clarifying what you even want out of life. And I think so often we don't do that. We don't actually you can't get where you want to be if you don't know where you want to go, And so he says to make an I want list. He says to write down 30 things you want to do, 30 things you want to have, and 30 things you want to do before you die. In this quote, I don't remember who it's by. It says, what often stops people from expressing their true desire is they don't think they can make a living doing what they love to do. So again, I'm sorry, let me preface real quick. I'm going to give you a lot of information, a lot of ideas tonight. My goal is that you take away one of these ideas and actually do it, for this year with your goals, with your vision, whatever it is. So keep that in mind as I spit information out at you. So the next thing he says to do is make a list of 20 things you love to do. Hopefully, one of those things is being a Beachbody coach. But, if not, we may need to have a talk. So make a list of 20 things you love to do, then think of ways you can make a living doing some of those things. You may think of them as extreme examples, but they were just started out as ordinary people like us. He says, if you love to hang out and talk to people, well, so does Oprah, and she made a career out of it, and if you like to make people laugh, so did Ellen DeGeneres, and she made a career out of it, so I just thought it was important to, I know that stuff really doesn't have to do with Beachbody, but it does in a lot of ways. What do you want, and how can maybe Beachbody help you get there? Or again, maybe Beachbody isn't lining up with what you want and you need to do some reevaluating on that front. I hope that's not the case, but I just wanted to encourage you guys to really think about those things and your life and what you want out of life and what you want from your family, and not just like financial stuff, just relationships and, stuff like that. So, okay. So when talking about vision and creating a vision for your life, Jack Canfield says you need to create a balanced and successful life. Your vision needs to include the following 7 areas. If you're taking notes, I would write these down. Your vision should include your work and career, your finances, your recreation and free time, your health and fitness, your relationships, your personal goals, and contributing to the larger community. He believes your vision, again, to have a balanced life, your vision should include all of those things. And man, I am just all about balance. I'm speaking at our moms group this week, and I'm talking about how to balance your health and fitness and how to have a healthy perspective on that. And balance, I think, is a lot of moms' favorite words and big goals in our life. But that's what I want. Again, I'm the last person who wants your life to be all about Beachbody or obsessed with making a certain amount of money or, so make sure that even as we're writing goals for Beachbody, you're writing goals for other areas of your life this year as well. Michelangelo, the famous Renaissance painter, said, the greater danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that it is too low and we reach it. That quote has always, man, it really convicts me because, to be honest, I'm not like a big dreamer. I'm not, I think we all came in to Beachbody with certain advantages, and I came in with a background in health and fitness. And, so I had a lot of credibility in that sense. But a lot of you some people come in and they've always been big risk takers, big dreamers. They've always had this huge vision for their life. I've not been that way. And so Beachbody has been a constant challenge in that sense, in terms of writing out goals. And, they say to make big, scary goals. I hate making big, scary goals. But that quote always convicts me because it makes me feel like if I don't make those goals, then I'm settling, and I'm settling for less than maybe what I could have. So if you're like me and maybe I don't like to feel like I'm pessimistic. I really wouldn't describe myself that way, but I'm just very realistic. And I feel like I know what I'm capable of, and, and that's not a bad thing, but it is bad when you're trying to dream big for your life. So, again, I loved that quote, and I'm going to say it one more time because I love it so much. The great danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that it is too low and we reach it. Jack Canfield says, my experience is that one of the few differences between the super achievers and the rest of the world is that the super achievers simply dream bigger. These high achievers see the world from a whole different perspective, as a place where amazing things can happen, where billions of lives can be improved. They believe anything is possible, and they believe they have an integral part in creating it. You know who the first person I thought of is when I read that quote? Our CEO, Carl Deichler. He honestly believes Beachbody will end the trend of obesity. It's not just a slogan to him. He believes that with the technology that the world has created, Beachbody can reach billions of people and change their lives. And again, I'm not that way. Matt is that way. Matt thinks he can change the world, and I mean that in a great way. My dad is a huge visionary, I'm just not, and that's okay. But again, it's something that I really have to challenge myself in and, say what if and why not? And I need to say those things a lot more. And so again, I loved that quote only because it reminded me so much of Carl Deichler. I know not everyone has heard him speak, or I'm sure you have a few times just on the National Wake Up Call, but he just doesn't stop. And that's one of the things when I came into Beachbody, I didn't know much about Beachbody, but he kind of won me over. I realized that this isn't just a hobby for him. He's so passionate about what Beachbody does and the way they do it. And this quote also always gets to me. It's by Robert Fritz. Honestly, I don't know who that is, but that's who said it. If you limit your choices only to what seems possible or reasonable, that's me, you disconnect yourself from what you truly want, and all that is left is a compromise. That's why, like I said at the very beginning, the list of 30 things you want to do and 30 things you want to have, just name them and know what you want. And then you're not compromising and settling for less, Okay, I'm going to read. Now we're talking about like how to train yourself to start dreaming bigger and thinking bigger and actually believing you can do it. And I'm just going to read a whole thing out of this. So this says, today scientists are learning that instead that we respond to what the brain on the basis of previous experience expects to happen next, not what has already happened. So I know that doesn't make sense right now. Researchers at Baylor College of Medicine recently studied the outcome of arthroscopic knee surgery on patients with painful, worn-out knees who were given one of two types of arthroscopic surgery. Their results were then compared to patients who had unknowingly received a pretend surgery, where doctors made tiny incisions in the knee as if to insert their surgical instruments and then did nothing. 2 years later, patients who underwent the pretend surgery reported equal improvement in pain relief and knee function as those patients who had actually received the surgery. The brain expected the imaginary surgery to improve the knee, and it did. This is known as the placebo effect. I'm sure most of you have heard of that term. But it never ceases to amaze me. And so if it can work for something like that, it can work with helping you reach the goals you have for your life. This is why it's so important to hold positive expectations in your mind. When you replace your old negative expectations with more positive ones, when you begin to believe that what you want is possible, your brain will actually take over the job of accomplishing that possibility for you. Better than that, your brain will actually expect to achieve that outcome. I just really find that fascinating. And I think, again, we have to work for what we want. I believe in the law of attraction to a certain point, not the way I know some people believe in it, but I do believe in it to a certain point. And I think this is all kind of part of that. Let me skip a few pages here. So now we're going to talk about actually goal setting and writing down your goals and all that good stuff. If you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hopes. Andrew Carnegie, who was the richest man in America in the early 1900s, said that. Okay. So there was a study, again, done about writing your goals, and it said you need to write down your goals, make a public declaration of your goals, and then be accountable to another person, such as a coach or an accountability partner, for the achievement of your goals. According to a study conducted by David Cole, and a professor at Virginia Tech, 80% of Americans report that they do not have goals. Some 16% say they do have goals, but they don't write them down. Less than 4% take the time to write down their goals, and less than 1% to review them regularly. The small percentage of Americans who write down their goals and review them regularly earn 9 times more over the course of their lifetime than those who didn't set goals. This study alone should motivate you to write down your goals. And then, we can go into the whole, okay, where did I want to read here? Make sure they're specific and measurable and all that good stuff. And I think we all know that, but I love the quote that goes along with that, which says, vague goals produce vague results. And again, it's just, to me, you're compromising when you're not just willing to say what you want and fight for it and be bold enough to write it down or speak it out loud. One of the best ways to get clarity and specificity on your goal is to write them out in detail, as if you were writing specifications for a work order. For example, if there's a certain house you want to own, write down its specifics in vivid, colorful detail: the location, landscaping, furniture, artwork, sound system, and floor plan. If a picture of the house is available, get a copy of it. Just fill in all the details, then provide a date by which you expect to own that house. Again, that's just an example, but when it comes to your Beachbody goals, or again, the goals for your life, write them down and be as specific as you can. When you create your goals, be sure to write down some big ones that will stretch you and require you to grow to achieve them. I also encourage you to set what I call a breakthrough goal that would represent a quantum leap for you in your career. Most goals represent incremental improvements in your life. But he encourages you to write at least one big, scary, crazy goal that would represent a huge leap. And again, those are the goals I am not good at setting. I should probably stop saying that, right? Affirmations. Okay. So now you're going to reread those goals 3 times a day. Activate the creative powers of your subconscious mind by reviewing your list 2 or 3 times every day. Take time to read your list of goals. Read the list out loud with passion and enthusiasm if you're in an appropriate place, one goal at a time. Close your eyes and picture each goal as if it were already accomplished. Take a few more seconds to feel what you would feel if you had already accomplished that goal. Your brain wants to close the gap between your current reality and the vision of your goal. By constantly repeating and visualizing your goal as already achieved, you will be increasing the structural tension. This will increase your motivation, stimulate your creativity, and heighten your awareness of resources that can help you achieve your goal. You know, and that is so true. It isn't just about, oh, if I just say it out loud, it'll happen. When you start your day with your personal development, you are more motivated. You do. I mean, I do. I work harder. I'm more motivated. You know, after I put the kids down at 2:00 for their nap, all I want to do is curl up on the couch and watch The Bachelor. And some days I do that. But some days I'm like, let me just read my 10 pages of personal development. And more often than not, after I've done that, I'm ready to do the work that I need to do. And it's not just, again, it's not even just Beachbody stuff, just get my stuff done around the house, whatever it is. So again, reading them out loud isn't necessarily just the law of attraction. It does motivate you and inspire you and instill in you that passion for why you want those goals, which will make you want to work for them. Okay. I like these separate. Again, these are all just little ways that you might want to write down your goals and start visualizing them. I love this idea. I haven't done it yet, of creating a goals book. You create a separate page for each of your goals. You write the goal at the top of each page and then illustrate it with pictures, words, and phrases that help you picture your goal as if already achieved. And this, again, you could flip through that book 3 times a day, and just seeing those images will just, I believe that it will help. Jim Rohn says, if you are bored with your life, if you don't get up every morning with a burning desire to do things, you don't have enough goals. You want to set a goal big enough. In the process of achieving it, you become someone worth becoming. And Jim Rohn, he wrote The Art of Exceptional Living that Moose has raved about. He was a self-made millionaire, success coach, and philosopher. I am almost done, so thank you for listening. But we're going to talk about affirmations now. Again, I've talked about these, but I don't know that everyone actually knows exactly what I mean. So this is a quote from Jim Carrey, and he says, I've always believed in magic. When I wasn't doing anything in this town, I'd go up every night, sit on Mulholland Drive, look out at the city, stretch out my arms and say, everybody wants to work with me. I'm a really good actor. I have all kinds of great movie offers. I'd just repeat these things over and over, literally convincing myself that I had a couple of movies lined up. I'd drive down that hill, ready to take the world on, going, movie offers are out there for me. I just don't hear them yet. It was like total affirmations, antidotes to the stuff that stems from my family background. An affirmation is a statement that describes a goal in its already completed state, such as, I am enjoying watching the sunset from the lanai of my beautiful beachfront condo on the Kanapali coast of Maui. Or, I'm celebrating feeling light and alive at my perfect body weight of 135. There are 9 guidelines for creating effective affirmations. So if you're taking notes, again, you might want to jot these down. You want to start with the words, I am. The words I am are the two most powerful words in the language. The subconscious takes any sentence that starts with the words I am and interprets it as a command, a directive to make it happen. Number 2, you want to use the present tense. Describe what you want as though you already have it, as though it is already accomplished. So the wrong thing to say would be, I am going to get a new red Porsche. The right thing to say would be, I am enjoying driving my new red Porsche. State it in the positive. Affirm what you want, not what you don't want. The unconscious does not hear the words no or not. This means that the statement, don't slam the door, is heard as slam the door. The unconscious thinks in pictures, and the words don't slam the door evoke a picture of slamming the door. The phrase, I am no longer afraid of flying, evokes an image of being afraid of flying, while the phrase, I am enjoying the thrill of flying, evokes an image of enjoyment. So that was kind of a lot, but say what you want, not what you don't want. Keep it brief. Think of your affirmation as an advertising jingle. Act as if each word cost $1,000. It needs to be short enough and memorable enough to be remembered. Make it specific. Vague affirmations produce vague results. Wrong. I am driving my new red sports car. The right way would be, I am driving my new red Porsche 911. I guess that's a kind of Porsche.
911.
911. My Matt corrected me. Clearly, I don't. That's so. 911 and 911 are essentially the same thing. He's super embarrassed of me right now. Include an action word. Let's move on. Number 6. Amber, stop laughing at me. Include an action word ending with ing. The active verb adds power to the effect by evoking an image of doing it right now. The wrong way, I express myself openly and honestly. The right thing to say would be, I am confidently expressing myself openly and honestly. Number 7, include at least one dynamic emotion or feeling word. Include the emotional state you would be feeling if you had already achieved the goal. Some commonly used words are enjoying, joyfully, happily, celebrating, proudly, calmly. I'm not going to name all of them. So wrong. I am maintaining my perfect body weight of 178 pounds. Ideally, you would say, I am feeling agile and great at 178. You like what he did there? Number 8, make affirmations for yourself, not others. When you are constructing your affirmations, make them describe your behavior, not the behavior of others. For example, you would not say, I am watching Johnny clean up his room. You would say, I am effectively communicating my needs and desires to Johnny. Number 9 is add or something better. When you are affirming getting a specific job situation or relationship or whatever, always add the words or something better. Sometimes our criteria for what we want come from our ego or from our limited experience. Sometimes there is someone or something better that is available for us. So let your affirmations include this phrase when it is appropriate. Okay, I'm going to go over these last ones super quick. How to use affirmations and visualization. Review your affirmations 1 to 3 times a day. The best times are first thing in the morning, in the middle of the day, and around bedtime. If appropriate, read each affirmation out loud. Close your eyes and visualize yourself as the affirmation describes. See it as if you were looking out at the scene from inside of yourself. Feel the feelings you would feel, hear the sounds you would hear, and just, again, be in that moment when you're saying these affirmations. Say your affirmation again, and then repeat this process with the next affirmation. You can also, post 3x5 index cards with your affirmations around your home. Hang pictures of the things you want around your house. Repeat your affirmations during like wasted time, such as waiting in line or exercising. Probably need to do some affirmations while we're exercising and driving. You can repeat them silently or out loud. Okay, that's good. And then, so the visualization is obviously all of this obviously really coordinates. Like I said, I just wanted to give you a lot of different ideas, and maybe one thing sticks with you or connects with you the most. You know, I know Brittany Leggett says she spends 15 minutes on her balcony. Clearly she doesn't have kids yet, visualizing with her coffee, and she just visualizes the things she wants. So visualization is essentially closing your eyes and seeing your goals as already complete. Add the sounds, smells, tastes, and feelings to your pictures. Fuel your images with emotion. You can also create a vision board, which is a collage of all these images on a bulletin board, wall, or refrigerator door, somewhere where you will see them every day. I feel like I talked a lot, and I hope that's okay this time. I don't often do that, but just preparing this really reminded me of I needed to be more intentional with the way I was setting my goals and not just writing them down and not looking at them again for 6 months, because how many of us have done that? At least look at them daily. If you don't repeat them out loud or create a vision board or, sound like a crazy person in front of your mirror. Matt writes his down every day, like almost every day. So he rewrites his goals every single day. That's a good idea. I'm a writer personally. Talking out loud is weird to me. So that might be an idea. But don't just write your goals down for a group you're in, the Boost group, and not look at them again till Summit and be like, oh, did I reach my Buy Summit goals? You probably didn't if you haven't looked at them since then. Look at them, repeat them, make the vision board. You can do a digital vision board. I mean, who cuts pictures from magazines anymore? You can use PicMonkey, and I think there's even like a dream board website, and I don't know, but look into it and do something. And that's really it. That's what I wanted you to take away. God, I did talk for a long time. I realized it was 9:30. But I hope this inspired you, like I said, the way it inspired me by just prepping it, which is all stuff I've read before and know. But again, take writing down your goals to the next level, and take creating your goals to the next level. Again, don't make them just about Beachbody even, make them about other parts of your life. And I often say this about my prayer life. If I don't pray about something, then it's not going to feel like it was an answered prayer when that thing happens. You're going to write it off as a coincidence or this or that. So be specific and write down your big goals and your small goals. And then when they happen, it'll feel so much more fulfilling. So that's it. I'm not going to really open it up to too much discussion. If you have questions, you can message me or your upline coach. I really appreciate you listening. Oh, there is some chat. Was that anything? Oh, okay. Hi, David. Anyways, thank you so much for being on the call tonight. And I just miss you guys. And next 2 Tuesdays from now, I'll see you again. Keep in touch on the team page and keep up with the Boost group if you're in there. All right, guys. Love ya.